or just like LDL and third-party tournaments, gives you experience. So I wouldn't be surprised. Of course, this guy's come from other organizations in the past as well, so he has that kind of experience.
And there will be no further roster changes here in this series. Kwai stays in the jungle, RD in support, and we continue on to Game 3 to get a resolution of this series. See if LGD can finally defeat FPX, but no! The same thing's been left open and FPX taken.
But the ownership was on LGD of this one.
That's right.
So FPX was able to get the Aatrox themselves. It's going to be on LGD to give me some great counterpick options. Now, I made a mention of Renekton not so long ago. I think the Nico is also a great pick in the mid lane. It will always have that shove through mid. So we need to be able to see and learn the lessons LGD had, because I'm not going to look at this and say, well, LGD made the bad decision, right? Because it has to come to the risk and reward factor. They took this risk, they need to get something out of it.
And on the blue side, you can see FPX have left the Sylas open, so while the Aatrox is a big pick for them, they've also got options to this Sylas. The Aurelia is still there, a lot of flexes there for FPX to take away.
This is another added danger, giving more power picks to FPX and saying we'll pick counter pick options on red side. So they're giving away picks just saying that we have lanes up against it. They better be correct. LGD, you have game 3 on the line, dog. You can't just be giving them these picks now and then not having an answer. I have faith in UDJ that he'll give me something.
Well, Pyke apparently one part of an answer for now, though, Raz. We see a second game of it from RD, and down bottom it was a lie. It's a 100% win rate still, 3 games. As we go into the second ban phase, we're not looking at supports anymore. It's back to the old jungle.
And so jungle, remember, FPX could actually throw the Aatrox in the jungle. So FPX technically have their guise of a counter pick.
Routine played it last split.
One of the harshness of red side is that you don't really truly have counter pick anymore. That while I'm looking towards, let's say, Lies or Yuki for their pick, that the Aatrox could just be thrown into the jungle and is a pretty damn good jungler. So we'll have to see what it turns into.
So what is a safe jungler to take in when Olaf's gone, when Java and Xinjiao off the board as well? Rek'Sai, the only one left up that you call S tier at the moment.
But we get to see the full composition now from FPX. They got to be able to show me. Remember, we've seen a lot of Caitlyn and Lux compositions, but with Yuumi off the field, you don't have any more, ability to contest the range. So that's something that I would love to see personally.
LWX has the Kai'Sa there.
He's just going to hover this because he's a Vayne player. I don't think he's going to lock it in, but he's got to show people and recognize that I still play this champion, even with Quincy's getting hit.
Don't forget about me. There's the Zaya locked in and the Elise for 10. Now, Elise we don't see as much as I'd like here in the LPL, but I'm glad to see it on one of our best junglers.
And I like the fact that he locked it in, because he needs to now start supporting his solo laners. If we're going to be seeing LGD starting to lock these lanes in with strong matchups, this is very similar to Game 1. Then Elise starts breaking it up, allowing them to skirmish more often, and challenges the jungle matchup. So I still think Rek'Sai is pretty good into the Elise. It all depends on who gets the first jump on. And I think if it's Elise and Aatrox, I'm willing to, put my backing on that one.
Okay, well, I was going to flip over quickly to LGD, but the answer might already be there. Seeing the Karma locked in last, I was thinking, well, is it going to be Karma mid, Karma support? Because RD did play the Pyke in game number 2, but things do change. 8 seconds to get that final answer.
I would expect the Karma to be going top lane. I think that no matter who picks it up, there has been a considerable amount of success with Karma into the Sylas matchup. We'll see what happens when we get into it.
Okay.
I think both lanes are pretty damn good. Both the Nico and Karma can deal with both of them. This comes down to the fact that Karma benefits a lot from having that matchup, can easily proc her Klepto.
And if you're wondering why we're talking Karma top, Nico mid, or vice versa, in this series, top and mid lane has been so interchangeable. Doinby's been top, then mid, then top again, and that's really the same with all 4 solo laners from LGD and FPX alike.
And remember, Game 1, we were in this same position before. LGD had great solo lane matchups, and they wanted to keep them. FPX didn't allow it. We're consistently switching, and we're forcing skirmishes that were very uncomfortable for LGD, and they got snowballed. Hard snowballed on. FPX slammed them in a 25-minute venture that seemed like a 20-minute venture. So I think LGD are confident with this kind of style. Theoretically, it works, and they should keep it. I just want to see what ends up happening. It's going to be all on Tien and Doinby to get the job done.
Very different role this time from Kwai as he passes from Trundle to now the Rek'Sai he has a very big task ahead of him. The carry momentum needs to be on his back end. For LGD, we'll start asking a new question depending on how this goes. Will the Dragon rise, or will it be the Phoenix in the end that sears the competition and remains undefeated? Game 3 of this unsuspecting series, now live on your screens, as we go into FPX taking on LGD.
Now, they were banging that drum after Game 2 pretty heavily. LGD fans were on the tip of their seat, standing up, banging that drum. Hopefully we get to hear the same sound, because I'm completely, you know, fans out there should get behind teams like LGD.
Because we're saying this season, this could be their season to return back to playoffs. And
that's what we asked for.
That's what we were saying as well. But you'd still be asking for it with this new roster. Excited to see Kwai this game on the Rex side. Like I said in Champions League, going into the Elite, the carry potential needs to be there.
Remember, a lot of questions about the competitiveness for a lot of the teams in the LPL. Remember, we're talking about LGD, there's BLG that didn't make playoffs last time, LNG that didn't make playoffs last time as Snake, that's what they were seen as. Suning, all of those teams have gotten so much better now.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really on LGD to showcase that similar type of performance and just hope that teams like JDG stay down.
That's right. You only verse one team, or rather you only verse a team once a split. Finally
We're switching. It's switching again.
This happens so fast. Gimgoon up to the top lane again with his Silas. Welcome home.
They did not want this matchup. Now we're switching again.
Oh my god. Karma moving up quickly.
This is what get the fans going.
Yeah.
This is the type of stuff that they want to see.
Now Karma's coming up, but hasn't moved just yet. Lies receives the wave. Swap over. Is Gimgoon going to stay?
For the developers, the fans out there that's saying, oh, we won't want to see this kind of gameplay. You know, yeah. Nah!
It's been happening all series long.
It's strategic nirvana. It gets your mind going.
Yeah.
I'm getting a mental workout just looking at this.
Well, Doomby hits the wave. Is he going to move? No, I think he's going to stay here for now, Raz. So we'll see what happens, because Lies takes a brunt of damage, but sticking in the middle of the wave while Gimgoon.
Ooh, Klepto.
Yeah, have some more gold.
Ooh, that's what I want. Get me in the lane and don't leave, please. Do not leave.
After all that crisscrossing and that mixed matching, see us even. So, although Yuki is now in the lane that he wants to be in.
But now ownership is on Gimgoon and Doomby to shove these lanes up. That's the whole purpose, right? You need to have consistent shove before you switch right back up. So, going to see if Quay finds a good gank through mid lane. Oh my god, we've already got movement.
RD doing exactly what Chris has been doing for the rest of the series. Kwai coming in the mid lane. Doomby has both summoners available. Spotted out. Ping's going down.
All right. He's pretty safe, though. Remember, they're just kind of hoping that he ease straight in to get a trade off on Lies at all.
Yep.
But he's pretty aware of the fact that the support in the bottom side of the map is just not there. So playing it out smartly.
Doomby not losing too much in this lane despite what we're expecting about the matchup. So Lies going to keep pushing in, and Doomby now going to sit at turret. But
take a look at Gimgoon, though.
Yep.
Because Gimgoon's got the first shove here. Doesn't know exactly where Karma is, but once Karma shows on top side, he has the ability to now rotate towards the mid lane and give some assistance to Doomby so they can make the switch right back up. That's if they want to do that. I think it's in the best interest.
But what you see here is TN in the top side getting control. This can enable it so much more.
See, I mean, really comes down to where... Oh, actually.
Wondering if Lies is going to move. Well, not at the moment. The Cocoon lands. Instant flash from Lies.
Yeah, well done. It gives Doomby his shove out. This is your opportunity. You see Silas already moving towards the mid lane, as I mentioned. Got the top lane shove. Starting to move mid. Gank in the mid lane allows Aatrox now to go up top lane. They got the switch that they've wanted.
TN at full health, though. Now for Kwai at half. He's going to have to burrow. Just heal up super quick, because TN's going to burst him before the Karma gets involved.
Oh, no.
Flash. Another one. Burn. Now to the bottom lane. As Chris, the Blade Caller comes in. LWX onto RD. They want to follow up the Pike, but they've already won this trade.
RD just wants to move, please.
Doesn't want to be involved whatsoever. Team just alphas Kwai once again, like game 1, and shuts him out.
Please, I just want to move.
Oh.
He's getting just nailed down by a lot of the CC that have been thrown his way.
Yeah. Looks like we're set up for another tempo game here from FPX team in the exact same position as we saw him last time in game 1. Yuki not up against the turret, but Kimgoon's coming in.
There we go, but there's no wave here. You're going to have to go in now or never.
Misses as well. Repel's going to need to come up at half health. Yuki can take him on. Chain lash out, but the tether doesn't end up rooting Tian down, so denied as LGD burn a summoner to get up top.
Yeah, that's a win for FPX, unless if anything happens here.
Down into the bottom lane, jungle's here as well, flash is there, Skewer doesn't land, now for LWX, he has to outplay as he has the flash, doesn't get the tether in as well, the root caller doesn't find the mark, Kwai now locks up Christmas, TP comes in, underneath the turret at half health, FPX, tempo's there, Kimgoon onto Kwai once again, he spins, he wins, he finds first blood. A first blood responded though by LGD.
It's a lot of gold being thrown amongst everyone on LGD. Even though that was first blood by FPX going on towards Silas, it's a lot of assist gold on the side of them. So not sure who wins exactly because they also got top lane shoved out. So
that's a big wave getting denied here.
I'm pretty happy with what LGD got out of all of that one. I think at the end of the day, there are a few points that we can kind of discuss. That one's good. But the first point is the fact that FPX were able to get the TP on the top side of the map.
Yep.
So that was great. And it really now banked towards this play to see if LGD could get anything back. And so they got assist gold amongst the rest of them, just based off this teleport that came through when they were going on top of Chris. And top lane wave got completely shoved in the entire process. So we'll have to see if Gimgoon can make the best of his first blood.
It's that kill for about 25 CS in the lead. As LGD move back to the bottom side, and they get an Infernal out of the longevity of the play as well, guys. So
there we go.
Big windows here now.
So far, Quay's getting, double thumbs up. I think I gave him first thumbs up last game.
You're giving him the Colonel, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. The Colonel double thumbs up is what I'm giving him now. Maybe we'll start moving to the star system.
Okay.
Double thumbs up and then 3 stars.
Depending on how this game goes, all right? We'll see.
But he's been doing a great job.
This is not good, RD. God. That happened very quickly. Not even level 6 on the bottom lane. Now for FPX, they can play into the top side as well. Populous for Populous, but Doomby turns into Heroic Angel. On top of Lies, he'll find himself. He dunks him for the kill. FPX, the turbo is on.
Just waiting for him to show his face. He had no idea where he was, and he loses a wave in mid lane. He's willing to make these risks.
And suddenly when these small shoves come out, now LGD losing out as Culling comes through from LWX. Doesn't have the flash available. Kwai doesn't have his summoner as well. And if that root landed, wow, you know LWX was going back in.
Yeah, this is a tough one here. FPX are starting to nail the same lead they had, at least very similar to game 1, where Doomby is able to get a lot of these movements off and get these dives working. Remember, this dive was very easy. No teleport there for the side of LGD, expending it to make a defense on the same type of dive. So there we go, man. FPX really back in the rhythm.
And remember, we're still in lane yakety sax between the mid and the top lane as Gimgoon trying to play that saxophone to the best of his ability with Live dodging away from the abscond abduct. But lane swaps continue to happen here with RD now roaming, Karma going back to the top side, Doomby at his mainstay, but Gimgoon is calling the bluff.
And that's the one difference we're seeing from game 1 to game 3. RD is in a position that he's very comfortable in.
Yeah.
Movement that he's had, even though it hasn't turned into anything as of yet, he's in the right place at the right time. If there was another play to come through around the mid lane that FPX have been doing so frequently, he can be there to respond. So he isn't 6 just yet. A little unfortunate. I think he's a wave off of it, seeing Zadie Carey is doing a pretty good job on that one.
Yep.
So even if a fight was to happen in mid lane, I think he would still be able to hit 6. Just comes down to the fact that he needs to hit it if he wants to have a great amount of ability to skirmish out at that point in the game. Really
hard to hit Gimgoon though. The Silas an annoying target to deal with if you're the Pike. So now that he has Void Rush as well, a lot of kill threat onto Lies as Doomby goes back to the top lane. Gimgoon stays mid against the Nico.
All right, you calm down. Like, yeah, sure, it's very difficult to get the Gimgoon off of a pick, but it's incredibly difficult to get Lies as well.
Also true.
So Nico and Silas, pretty difficult to touch. We've been seeing the amount of attempts at Lies' life that we've been seeing. And just take a look at Doomby. Constantly in the bush, working off a Fog of War. He's in the area just because, you know, Tien is doing this too, but he's caught out.
He wanted the control, what he stayed for it. He gets greedy, he gets knocked up, and he pays for it with his life. Now for Kim Goon in the mid lane. He's dealing with members on all sides. RD finally comes in. Raz, I lied. Kim Goon not as hard as we thought as the flash comes out. Culling as well. They lock him down. Death from below, but Kramer light slings him for the kill.
LGD starting to feel it. They have a series on their hands, man.
They're in it. 2
very real picks. Even if Doumbé was leaning to help out Tien, at the end of the day, Tien was on his own. He didn't know that he had 2 people on him. He loses out in so much around Rift Herald now.
Ripple effect. Rift Herald now challenged here. Is RD going to be spotted out of the back of the pit? But we'll look at Tien, who stayed and overplayed his hand.
Slow, coming through consistently, missed out in the cocoon. And even the bigger point about this entirely is that the entire discussion we've had about Pyke just being in the right place through mid finally pays off. They can now get the second pick on Gimgoon. They're right now sky high.
A lot of ults burned in that, but for LGD, very well worth it. Kramer in a lead, I'm sure we'll be discussing soon, but FPX still challenging as the flash mid-combo. The light beam comes out. Kwai gets shielded up, though. Chris has one of his own, but now he needs to survive through the ordeal because Kwai is just rippling through FPX. Gimgoon in the middle of 3 members. He's going to get knocked up as well. Runs for his life. Got abducted back in. Kingslayer to heal back up, but he's bitten off more than he can chew. LGD give 2 more kills to the jungler.
The sustain on him. He survived when he shouldn't have.
The Karma shield got him back to a good position. This is the power of Athene's unholy grail.
It's crazy to be able to see this. So close to losing that fight. And that was another gambit being done by FPX, losing mid lane waves upon mid lane waves, and they're still taking this fight.
They want to go again. Tien burns a flash because Kramer was there at the right place at the right time, and FPX throwing caution to the wind and sending everyone into the play 1 by 1.
They do not have a real answer here. FPX has their AD carry on the bot side of the map. They're trying to pick these fights. Take a look at this. Koi should have been gone.
That's why I play Karma.
But take a look at this. Conqueror is being picked up. He sustains through all of this as well. Great kill to be able to pick up Chris. And from this point forward, you're right about Karma. Extra movement speed makes it super easy to be able to get onto the next target. And who touches you if you have that kind of shield?
You're almost to the 2-item spike here for Yuki. Guess what's coming up next? You should know. Ardent Sensor there. And on a composition that has a Lucian scaled and Rek'Sai as well.
Run.
Look at the top side, Pop Blossom coming down, Tien and Doumbé both move out of it. The cocoon doesn't land, lies forward enough time, but no one else is coming. But Kramer, trade-off kill in the bottom lane. Now that's Dragon, that's bottom lane turret with full plating.
Yeah, what happened? You know, give me the full screen on this one. Don't give me the video for ants.
Yes, well
I want to see it fully. What actually happened on the bottom side of the map for Kramer to be able to pick up that kill. That's his 3rd kill, by the way. Okay, we're getting the ant video footage. Seems like surveillance footage says that he wasn't looking. Yeah.
Yep.
He literally walked right into them.
Because Pyke wasn't invisible there.
he just
walked into him. So
that happens, though. That's the best thing about ProView, I will say, is that you get to see their perspective of like they're looking mid or top lane, and then suddenly their screen starts like flashing red, and you're like, what happened? I've done messed up.
I'd love to see it right now because Chris is once again on the roam while this bottom lane turret is getting chunked out. Now with the Rift Herald, this is the challenge for first turret blood. FPX, they get it, but only just.
There we go, man. But this game is really, like, if you look at the goal difference, it's going to be opening up for LGD simply because of this Rift Herald, but it's been pretty close up until this point.
4 members are down here, Raz. They want to commit for the play or the turret.
I mean, LGD have been doing a great job this series at committing to the right play. Now that they got this bottom lane turret opened up, remember, next Dragon's going to be Ocean. It's going to be triple Dragon potentially here for LGD.
Again.
Exactly. They're in a great position for Dragons. Now, it's not nearly as beneficial as the last one. The last game was actually just OD for Dragons. They got literally everything they wanted. They did double Cloud, triple Mountain Dragon. But for this time, LWX are going back to what's comfortable. Look at how much turret gold, turret plating gold that Lucian got.
All onto Kramer. 80 over to RD, you selfish person. But for Kramer, 720, I mean, that's the majority of turret plating.
He could have had 800 gold.
As it disappears, that's right. He's still got the pickaxe and the cloak of agility, so it looks like, what are we going for next, Red?
For who?
For Lucian.
Oh, right. Yeah, definitely Essence Reaver.
Okay, good.
1000% Essence Reaver.
Fantastic.
That's been the go-to build. People have actually been foregoing Black Cleaver So they've been going into, of course, rapid fire cannon almost immediately afterwards. Extra bit of range, I think, off that one. Just raw damage, I think, is a big plus. It just helps that you got that extra, crit
Plus,
chance.
we're back to that extra 70 AD, if I'm not mistaken now, once again. Yep. And that mana back is always a nice touch.
So, big fan of it. Taking a look at what we're seeing right now from LGD positioning right now, it's just been so strong. Yep. They've just been rotating as a unit. It's very hard to actually walk into them.
They got full control of the river in this top side as well, where Kramer's started the push now onto Gimgoon, who was having a good early game, but has fallen behind. Tien doing it again. Pike skewer there, death from below. Are you ready? We're going to see it again, but he repels up just in time. Quite now very low, doesn't have a Karma near him. Teleport in, Doinby, right place, right time, 600 gold for the taking.
Tien played that one so well, but Kramer, you got to leave.
Are you ready for the party of Aatrox culling there? Doinby is taking the full brunt as well. He's over the wall. Dashes just in time. Kramer is ready for the 1v1.
Yeah, he was in it. He really wanted that fight. Maybe they can push for something more.
Wrong side. Gimgoon's going to the top. RD and Kramer acting as a duo here. RD constantly on the move, though. That's how that play started.
And that's what I love about RD. Finally put in a position where he can succeed. Alongside Kramer, they've been playing a lot in solo queue when he first came out, so they've been doing well. They understand each other, what they want out of lane. And on top of that, RD, when he made that transition from an AD carry to a support, he really got comfortable. He picked up champions slowly. He started out with a lot of the enchanter supports.
Yep.
But now he's really moving in, finding his groove on a lot of these engage options. So there we go. I mean, remember, Quake comes into the team. He doesn't have any experience with them. But you're able to make plays like that. Unfortunately, couldn't cap it off. Couldn't be able to finish it off with a kill. But it's not that it started off badly. That's still a great opportunity, and you want to continue to search for picks like that.
And even though Tien got picked out there, good timing on the rappel. Waited for that death from below. The one key ability that's just going to eliminate him and get through the shield that Crisp has been stacking up.
That's what makes it very hard for Pyke in that matchup. Whenever you're talking about, sure, she's very squishy, but the problem is, of course, you have to be able to understand repel time.
Yeah.
You can repel as a reaction to the Pyke ultimate.
Speaking of reaction,
that's unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
Tien's here as well. Now, how can Wise play this?
Get away from me. Don't touch me.
Tankerbob's out, Cocoon out as well. Here comes the burst, but into the golden age of time itself. Tien denies that. Doinby jumps under turret, but Tien's the one who picks it up.
Just trying to buy as much time as possible. He just knew you were going to die in that situation.
Yeah. I mean, Tien has full access to this bottom side. RD on the roam once again, but here we go. Steal it. Yeah. Saw it coming. Level 8 as well. Take
Cash money. What's up? Has a level advantage over Crisp as you were referencing. So, right now, RD is flying high.
Yep.
He's getting to a great position for himself. As long as he actually can join these fights, can get the execution. That's what we're waiting for. That first execution, the one he got missed out on Tien, he can get something. LWX, watch yourself.
It's his turn, has the feathers to fly, sends it out. The blade caller spreads in, but doesn't pull it in just yet. RD and Kwai staying together towards the Ocean Dragon seems to be the next go.
You have to be disciplined if you're FPX. 3 members of your team were back at base. For LWX, you were alone in that case. So no ultimate there sets you up for this dragon.
Easily taken here by LGD. No one nearby. Tien on the other side of the red buff right now. So Ocean, the dice gets rolled, and Raz, we see a Mountain coming up next and a team that is slightly ahead. This seems to be the game through we're waiting for. No one in a commanding position just yet.
But it's just a tough call for the members that matter, and I'm talking about Tien. Tien tried to be able to pick up the Elise for the early portion of the game. Denied. Doesn't have that lead there for Gimgoon and Doinby. So now you're really banking on Gimgoon. What kind of ultimate? Can he get a perfect Nico ultimate onto the enemy team?
Yep.
But LWX have just been getting bullied a lot of these fights, so they can't even pick up these fights on an even footing.
That was Mantra Inspire used, so you can see the potential of LGD going in or taking the disengage like they're doing now. For FPX, look at the item spikes that are coming through. Right now, still dangerous if LGD run into them because the Death Dance Aatrox has just been picked up by Doinby.
An insane amount of sustain. Of course, the damage taken that you can get off of that one, being converted into dot.
Yep.
That just makes the champion that much more seemingly tankier in fights without even the ultimate being expended. The moment the ultimate expended, you need an executioner's calling to deal with that.
No one just of yet. 2 items on the 80 carry there of LGD, but we're building up. Good pick onto RD. Tien secures the kill, his 3rd one, and picks like that onto RD are what giving FPX the ability to just move into the jungle, take the red buff, it's mine.
Check your watch. 20 minutes on the dot. Baron coming up, and you just lost your support. Tough times to be able to do that. FPX have somehow managed to come back into this one.
And immediately, snap your fingers, look towards the top side. Tien stands still near the Rex side, but they've got full vision control. They're looking for another pick for LGD to make another mistake.
Oh, no.
Or maybe Tien to make the mistake. Goes golden, has a repel available. LWX walks up, but he's not going to use it just now. So saved by the bell, it seems, here for the jungler.
That was just a great GLP usage, of course. Something you have to look out for. The consistent pick potential coming out from FPX with the Lux Life Binding, Tien Cocoon, and of course, Gimgoon's Abscond of Duck. We haven't seen too much of it in this game, but that's a possibility. And if you see from LGD, Yuki is just always in the right position there. And of course, Nico, Lies always looking, hunting for an X-Tech GLP usage.
Right place, right time seems to be the theme as Chris has the flash burned out. That beam goes down 5 though, Raz. And now with the Pop Blossom, it only finds Tien, who almost gets bursted out purely with that. Gimgoon comes into the side, Lies is dead. Now to the next target as Doomy flashes on in, has the World Ender, and the end of worlds now for LGD. Doomy gets taken off. Somehow the Ignite picks over, but FPX still want RD. They flash onto him, but Gimgoon into the E itself.
Perfect timing. The last tick, just as Doombee's passive expired.
Yeah.
That's insane to be able to see that. Now, he's off the field for 20 seconds. Get a lot off of this if you're to LGD.
Turret first. Let's keep going, because remember, that's an Ardent Sensor Karma now, so Kramer is smacking these turrets super quick.
2 turrets immediately. Actually changes the game quite a bit around.
RD found LWX. Instant flash in for the Pike, and they're coming! LGD are up for good reason.
Hit by every bullet of that culling. I don't know what we're going to, but I'm going to like what I see. RD takes a lot of damage off this, but the fact that he is able to get out of that one scot-free and still be able to keep himself alive and back up in HP, great. I thought it was going to be looking good. But obviously, in the position that we're in, you cannot take this fight. And look at Doinby from this point forward. Look how close he is to being able to make use of his passive ult.
Yeah.
So, boom!
And the Prey Seeker.
So close to being able to revive.
Yes. And you know what? So hard to kill this team of LGD. You saw Doomby running in, but always negated by Agent 007 in the mid lane. Yuki, his 2 items, now his needlessly large rod. The Karma is just carrying the weight. But there's no weight of LGD, so they're as light as a feather.
I mean, sure. I mean, that's just easy then. You be walking around. You know, that's...
You
set me up and you're like, oh, what kind of weight is it? Oh, nothing. So,
I think Kwai is surprising me with this game 3.
He's playing real well. I think with the Ardent Sensor that we're seeing right now, Kramer is going to be the primary focus for this team. Already has a rapid fire cannon. Next item is going to make it for him. So we're at a stage right now for LGD there. I think their composition is going to do quite well dealing with the Aatrox at hand. The Gambit that we were talking about seems like it's close to being paying off. It's going to pay off.
Around the next dragon, no doubt, because it's a mountain. LGD had the inner track on mid lane, so they could choose to keep pushing this, force FPX and get position on river, or they could just head there straight now.
Let's take a look at LWX's item. He's just been not having a good game here.
Again, is he being picked out? Bone Skewer, Karma walks forward, gets the stun. Yuki, aggressive as always.
He has like 1.5 items right now. Good slow.
Mantra Inspire comes through once again. The shield wears off the Ardent Sensor, building up.
LGD right now should just move towards Baron. I mean, Dragon's up and available, so okay, you can stall that out a little bit more. Pick up Dragon, get yourself a mountain, recontrol mid lane so you can get another shove there, and then start playing towards Baron because at this stage in the game, you are so souped up. FPX cannot walk through that kind of terrain and meet you at the open area of the river.
They didn't even go near it. And Infernal coming up next. They get the litter, all right, LGD. And they want to go towards the Baron with the 2k gold lead, all the elementals under their wing. And for FPX, they do not have full ward coverage.
The only issue I see right now for FPX is, of course, the fact that LWX has taken a long time to getting to his items now. Finally has his Infinity Edge. He's been trying to build up to that point. He's been getting bullied pretty consistently. Not only do we have a 40 CS lead there for Kramer, he has 4 kills to his name. That's the only reason why I look at that and you're like, wow, 3 items to the 2 items here for LWX.
Yep.
And even past that point, we haven't been able to see LWX use his items because he's getting poked out and picked off by RD.
He's been forced to use the ultimate, otherwise it's down, caught.
The ultimate, the flash. He doesn't even have his flash if there was ever going to be a fight here for Baron. So he's going to be screwed.
Every exchange. You look at the amount of CC that can lock him down on that side, and you expect to see that QSS, you know, the Pike, Yuki with the Sun on W and Karma. Don't forget Lies with the Tangle Barb, so I'm expecting that QSS to come through as the next item, depending on what FPX want to prioritize here. It's the fight into the side of the Baron Raz. Yuki's being caught. Beam again. Doomby gets Yuki, and now FPX have an advantage 5 versus 4.
Baron game. Lies is now looking towards this side of the map because he has to start thinking about his teleport. FPX are not going to go for it, but man, did they play that game now.
They backed away. A couple of members disappeared. RD's on the hunt.
Yeah, thinking pick on to Chris would be beneficial. Could have actually. I think you can get a lot off that one.
Yeah.
If you want to try for Chris, remember he has flash so he can play that game, but I don't think you want to play that game and lose your flash before a Baron fight even begins.
LGD have regained priority back in the river. RD spotted out there with a volatile Spiderling, but Gimgoon in a good flanking position here on the level 13 Silas, who has been so quiet farming away. Now has the Luden's Echo, but LGD got other plans. Baron begins here in game 3.
We're going for a nice pick.
Great cocoon from Tian. They just take down the Nico. Now, I talked about the flanking position here from Gimgoon, but he doesn't need to use it. They get a pick once again.
As soon as Yuki comes up, another member goes down. They needed to be able to play towards the Baron, but man, they're getting being pulled around.
Tian's cocoon coming in mighty fine here in game number 3. FPX, they go to the mid turret. They can break this open, get the shove, and then regain control.
Yeah, now they're going to play that game. Now, they may not have a dragon in their name. They don't have any mountains or anything, but members all the same. That's a Pike ultimate that now Gimgoon has available to him. They're going to go for it.
10 seconds until Lies respawns. They can do this quickly, or they can send Quay out from the back of the pitch. Chris going for zone control. Doomby sends in an Infernal Chains, but FPX is zoned out.
You know FPX, they want that fight. They want to feel the knuckles on your face.
But they're playing safer than ever here. One slip up, one mistake could mean the end.
Because it's so easy for Kramer to actually walk in now. Rapid fire cannon to his name. I could always kind of sift in and out of a fight with, of course, has his dash up, flash available. There's a lot that he has, you know, in that fight that you're kind of concerned with dealing with. So I understand FPX wanting to back away because if they were stalled by any bit of the imagination and Lies teleports in, Nico ultimate available, they just lose that out.
Really rough seeing that QSS in Kramer's inventory. You go, well, so many elements of control now given to the AD carry, and for LWX, he's trying to catch up, get that 3rd item himself. But at the moment, you're looking at Doomby because he's got that 3rd item, and his core is going to be a big difference as Tian needs to dodge away. He's sending one back himself.
Yeah, right now I'm just looking at Yuki. Been without Rabadons for quite some time. He's got the components for himself. If he's able to get it, then they just have such an immeasurable shield.
He hasn't been picking up CS though, so that's why Doomby's got such a lead.
It's tough. Just as tough as this. Lies, you got to get out now, dog.
Now, Gimgoon doesn't have the ultimate, but hang on, maybe Lies can take this. Gimgoon goes into abscond dunk. Kramer joins the fight. That's unfair. It was a 1v1, Kramer. You absolute... Not even going to give him the word.
I'll give him a gremlin.
Gremlin.
We're getting right now Gimgoon down. First time in a long time the FPX have lost that member amongst, you know, crucial buff alive, available. LGD have been trying to go for this Baron buff hunt for a while now.
Now with the Mountain Dragon, and there's an Infernal spawning. Now remember,
okay,
LGD could play the back and forth game route.
You're going to turn the wheels now. I'd say move away from Baron, at least have vision on him. This is going to be the trick. A lot of teams have done this. Actually, Vici Gaming a lot for the last split. Something that made you love this team, actually. If you're going for the Dragon, they change the dime on you. They go towards Baron.
Yeah.
So they're in position for a reason.
They're doing it right.
Go for Dragon. You mess up once, they're going to start on the objective.
You're a sorcerer. There's the teleport coming in. Yuki scanning for vision, but they're going to find a team doing the Baron buff.
They're on it, though.
Inspire shield comes through. 5K. Chris zoned on the edge, on the outskirts. Kramer starts culling away.
2K.
Yuki's behind the pit. The steal comes in. Quay doesn't get the steal. I was going to welcome him properly, but the beam comes through. They get the jungler. Comes down with the pop blossom from Lies. LGD turn for the fight, but Doomby has a reset. Flushes on top of RD. And Kramer Do&B super carry lives again.
They're going to be hunting Yuki. Can he get out of this one alive? He's on the wrong side of the map. I don't care what happens. You've lost it all.
Looking for the movement speed to make his grand escape, but
Chris is booking it.
He's coming fast.
Get over
Yuki
here.
trying to waste some time. They've got so many turrets to break through that FPX.
Get that
with this
ass over
Baron.
here.
They can't end, but Yuki can at least save some time.
But take a look at mid lane. Right now, obviously, the juiciest target is going to be the execution from Yuki, but they're already moving towards mid. Already took that inner tower. They got themselves a Baron. A huge turn in this game right now by FPX.
5-1 and 4. The Aatrox, I know when we go back, will be the person I'm looking at here for Do&B. Level 17. And as soon as that World Ender passive was activated, he was in like Flynn. And now for someone like RD, he wants those picks, but it gets even more dangerous that FPX picked up that Infernal Dragon, have a 5k gold lead, and won this fight.
I just want to watch this in awe, because by the time LGD are ready for this fight to happen, it's already at 2k HP. You're now being put in a 50-50 situation for Baron. You're not going to go for it. So really tough that LGD has had control for such a long time. Nice reaction to this, by the way. Real good reaction to deal with that Nico.
Yeah. That flash final Q is what did it as well.
But
RD
it's the
Kramer.
call.
Yep.
The call to go on Baron when the extra objective of Infernal Dragon is up and available. Not only do FPX win out on the fight, last out in the team fight that ensues, they pick up that nice Infernal that started this whole thing to begin with.
They're going to channel it right down the mid lane. You can see the inner turret was already taken there before. The replay, top, bottom, and even mid. Only thing left are inhibitor turrets FPX has set up with these waves.
At the end of the day, a lot of the newer teams or teams that are growing, and I know we're going to get to a fight, it always comes down to the idea of denial versus being able to obtain something new. If you have a lead, you don't need to deny an extra dragon.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah, pause for a second, Razen. Sorry, LWX might be caught out here. Cullen comes out. They've got the 80 carry. LGD aren't done just yet.
Yeah, let's see if they can get anything more. I think they'll just stop at
Quay
this.
wants to go in, flashes onto Chris, puts the Void Rush on the works in the back line. Quay now disappearing, but the Pop Blossom comes down. 3 members it finds. Kramer hitting away, but Do&B still lives, charging down the 80 carry. Everybody flash. Everybody's a winner from FPX as Do&B can't be stopped. The solo lane, the jungler, they are what remains for a bloody good reason.
He's huge. It looked great for LGD, but the big monster at the end of the day was super carry Do&B's Aatrox.
32 minutes, 30 seconds. FPX maintain their legacy here in the LPL. LGD will always be that team that took them to a Game 3, but FPX, once again, as they take down the rookie jungler, show that they can't be stopped here in Summer.
What a great series to cap off tonight's games, because it was back and forth. And while FPX came out of this series scathed, they lost the game on this series. At the end of the day, they're no longer undefeated in terms of just games, right? They're still undefeated in series because they ended up picking this one up. But if we're talking about who is undefeated in this series, Aatrox, my friend.
Yes.
2-0. They made the gambit. They lost in the end. It sucks to be able to see how those fights pan out if you're LGD. With you, it seems like you played it out well, but there's one monster that's still rolling, still trucking. That's the Aatrox.
Right in the mid lane. Do&B had a monstrous performance to go with the champion, and he's all grins, but the rest of FPX, you can see some solemn looks on the faces, and they hold themselves to such a high standard that after that series, they'll go back to the drawing board.
Not only did they feel, of course you're going to feel pretty bad about this victory if you're FPX, because you look across the aisle and you see not only just LGD as a team that hasn't been making playoffs, but also a wounded LGD, a team without that, finals MVP of Kandi. The fans are also heavily in favor of LGD coming into this one.
Yeah.
So out of all of that, you couldn't silence them. The drums were banging. Quay came in strong. And on top of that, Yuki and Kramer. Kramer had an insane performance, another one of his.
He had an insane series. Like Kramer was, apart from Game 1, I'd say, Game 2 and Game 3, Kramer performed out of his right mind.
And I think it's going to be tough for people out there to kind of come to the realization that a player who is as good as Kramer is put in a situation that's just consistently unfortunate.
Yeah.
They've done so well. Freak or Freak side comes over, and of course, really trying to get the engines rolling for LGD. And this was supposed to be that split. Maybe it still is. Who knows, right? Right now, they're 2-3. Two's victories, still fine. It's a great position to start in.
Yep.
It's just unfortunate of all the circumstances surrounding the series. And even to cap the series off, they could have won this one out 2-1. Didn't happen.
But having said that, when past series for LGD, there's always such a solemn focus on Kramer. Solemn's the wrong word to use, but I'll continue. Now this series, people like RD, Yuki, new jungler Quay.
Look,
like, it's exciting.
Look, I agree. It's very exciting to see these individual players be able to showcase their strength consistently.
Yeah.
And I think what we just need to see is that level of coordination. And in this game, of course, you could nail on the pick and ban. I think that's something that I've done pretty heavily. But also just the coordination around those team fights that at the end of the day, you're going up against one of the best teams in the league. You have to be perfect. You have to be. And so I'll go back to that same point, because I kind of butchered it at the end. Is more so the idea of denying versus obtaining something. If you're a team that has a pretty confident foothold of the game, you want to deny more than you can obtain.
Yes.
Because if they are able to sit around Baron buff, doesn't matter if Infernal Dragon away. Give Infernal Dragon to FPX. They're a team that's not in the position to be able to take that victory.
Right.
You have yourself a Baron buff, you win, right? That's the idea, that you want to be able to deny objectives because you're in a great position. Even if you don't take Baron and just deny that from them and just continue on with your leads and pushing through mid lane. That's something that I wouldn't want to see. But obviously they take that one risk. One window where Baron buff wasn't warded, they started shifting towards Dragon, it all gets thrown away.
Earlier in the split, remember, week 4 only, going up against FPX is a good time to judge LGD, but I think going forward, this is still development, still growth into a team that we thought would be set back 100 years.
Yeah, at some point the members will start being unhappy with the idea of development. Like you're talking about Yuki and Kramer. Yuki is gone of the days of his, rookie split or rookie year. Been in for it's gonna be a second time round, and you start seeing Kramer who wants to start seeing results.
That's right.
And so I think they're that team that's making that shift. They're making that shift from being the developmental squad to a real playoff contender. And I think that the mix-ups that they've been having in this week, I hope they come right back up. I hope that, they finally put some games underneath Quay, their new jungler, so they can be confident with the games around him.
I like Quay. I think Quay looks good. Like, for his first series in the LPL, I'm pleasantly surprised.
I think under the circumstances, players like RD and Yuki and Kramer really excelled in the situation that they were in to be able to kind of rein in new jungler without any experience with the team here or in practice. So good job to them. Of course, all of that praise to the team that lost the series. So I'm going to definitely refocus towards it, FPX, because I think they were pushed a lot. LWX certainly was having a tough game. Yeah. And that just happens. But I think, keeping his mental strong in that situation is worthwhile. Yeah, man, I think both Crisp and Doomby kept them in it 100%. Those team fights were just difficult to be able to traverse if you're LGD, so big win there.
It wasn't just the Aatrox pick in this series. The Lux pick was very big in this series.
Yeah.
Lux pick was monumental. And as we saw in Game 1 for PYL, it was a recovery method. But in that final game, especially for Crisp, even Game 2 for Crisp.
Lux is just a strong pick. Especially if you have Elise in your midst, and Elise generally seen as a champion that really, but that's the idea, right? Because Elise tends to fall off as the game goes on. You need to start really honing in on pick that is. And so the idea of not being able to move. Suddenly, if you catch that rascal Pike, he's staying there. How can I leave? There's one fight where he ended up leaving with just about 20 HP, so he was able to regen all of that. But since that point, he was getting erased. Actually happened multiple times around Baron buff. Because LGD wanted to be on that pit for a while now.
We spent a long time in that game around Baron buff.
But then Yuki died. Then Neek Lies died. And that just kept happening. And that had to start really jabbing at LGD, that frustration.
Also, a big part of that was because that TN actually had a recovery into the mid to late game. Because in that early game, he got caught out several times.
And so it's tough when you're that team. You taste it, You feel like you're about to pick it up. Your fans are there too.
The crowd will pump.
They're picking up that whatever it is. Start banging on the drum. You don't see that happening.
Nah.
That's why I say bang on that damn drum in Game 1 or in the end of Game 3.
Get them going. Get him going.
Okay, fine. If you want to say in between series, that's cool. We get the blood pumping. But I never like the idea of celebrating too early.
I agree.
Celebrate too early.
No, I reckon just go for it anyway.
What?
Anyway, we're going to go back to game 1 because game 1, Doomby looks great. Game 3, Doomby looks great. Let me tell you who got MVP in this game. It was probably Doomby. Yep.
Yeah.
Now, why? Because this Aatrox just smacked those last 2 fights as well.
Aatrox won 2 MVPs this series.
It did.
Just wanted you guys to know.
So, if you're wondering why Aatrox is normally banned,
pick Aatrox anywhere, and if you win that game, you get moments like these.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that Quay, survived longer than he should have. Karmas helped him out. It made the game a lot longer, but of course, by the time RD diffed so far in the back to be able to get the kill on Crisp, the team fight's already lost. Like, Doomby's able to just power through these. Yeah. So.
I mean, late game and leads, no one talks about it, but it's still that much damage.
So it's one of those snowballing factors. There was we even called out for a possible pickup on any like healing reduction items.
Yeah.
And we see anything.
That's right.
So like we just needed to see something. We saw in Series 1 where SMLZ was able to pick up Executioner's Calling really early on. And that was to deal with the Yuumi lane. But this game we definitely needed something.
yeah, we definitely did.
So it's tough. Congratulations to Aatrox. Hope he does well in the future series.
Congrats to FPX, because that's a 5-0 start into the LPL.
And Aatrox.
And the roll keeps running on. And to Aatrox as well. Congratulations to Aatrox. Let's pull up standings, because it's
Where's
FPX.
Aatrox on the standings?
He's right there. Top 5-0.
He's number 1.
He's number 1.
All right, yeah. 5-0 right now for FPX alongside RNG. Ooh, and you know what I'm going to say about that?
Someone's got to die.
What?
This weekend.
Yeah, I know. I just was very grim, my friend.
Oh, someone's going to die. Someone's going down.
I just want to continue on the roll of, like, we still have a few undefeated teams here. So Top eSports and LNG still rolling, still trucking. Remember now, LGD's next opponent's going to be LNG week 5, day 2. So good luck there. Not only are they facing the undefeated FPX, but they got to roll on towards dealing with the undefeated LNG. It's kind of tough for them. But this is when I want to, ask the people in the back to throw up that one screen that I like to see, being our match of the week.
Yeah, let's get that match of the week going up.
Because FPX versus RNG, you tell me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, we're showing the mid lane here after what we just saw with Doomby. Xiaohu's playing some